Violetta Anna here in Nashville at the Hard Rock Cafe. You're watching. You're watching. You're watching. You're watching.
You're watching.
Violetta Anna here is my season premiere. Oh, I am so excited. Under the Big Sky, my TV show. We had a great time on the pilot, and now it's time for the season to begin. I'm excited. We've had a great event these last few days with cast from around the country, spending a number of days in New York. You will be seeing that coming through soon. So today on my show, I have some very special guests. One is my co-star, whom I star with on Big Sky, the TV show, Mr. Leland Prater. Welcome him, please. And my special guest, Jerry Parisi, whom you know well because you see him all over the place, whether it's on an ad here or a TV show there or a commercial there or a print ad. He's always around. So you're very familiar with Jerry. And I welcome you both to my show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leland coming all the way from Oklahoma,
Indian Territory.
Indian Territory,
right.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about that too, because I found out something that I was unaware of, but we'll get to that in a minute. And Jerry is my special guest now. Jerry's in his second season. In his first season, guess who was his first guest?
You're right.
That'd be me. That'd be me. But Jerry and I have done a lot of things together, and we continue to do a lot of things together, live theater and everything else in between. And Leland and I work together on Big Sky, the TV show. We are the married couple, Virgil Cap Hicks and Daisy Hicks, and I'm going to ask Leland to talk a little bit about that. On that note, Leland, let me ask you a question. You come from Indian Territory.
Right.
So do you have Indian heritage?
I am a card-carrying member of the Cherokee tribe.
Card-carrying member of the Cherokee tribe. How long I know you, and we've worked together, and I didn't realize that?
Well,
I knew you had Indian heritage, but I didn't know to that extent.
Yeah, well, I've got the card, but it's like a 512th officially. So because back in the day, if your ancestor decided not to get on the roll because it was kind of frowned upon, and a lot of them denied the Indian heritage, it would skew it very, very badly. So mine skewed down quite a bit. I'm probably really like a 32nd, but it's still enough.
What does that number represent?
Every time your ancestry goes down, it basically halves. If it's, let's say if you had a full-blood grandmother and a white grandfather, then your mother would, be a half, you'd be a quarter, and it goes down that way. Now it skews out if you get degrees, marrying degrees and bearing children. So because one of my ancestors didn't get on, everything got knocked way down. But I'm still registered with the Cherokee tribe.
That's awesome that you registered. I know personally I had my grandmother's Seneca Indian, and she did not register.
Yep.
So everybody that follows, it's an issue.
Right.
It's an issue. But yeah, that's very interesting. That's very cool. We're going to come back to you in a minute. I want to talk a little bit about some things you're involved in, and you can share with our audience your experience, some of the things you've done recently, some of the things you've got coming up besides Big Sky. And Jerry, forget it. He can go on for hours and hours with everything he does.
I'm so sorry.
He's just one busy man. So how we, as close friends as we are, it's always like a hit and miss. Are you in the state? Are you in the town? Are you in the city? Where are you now? Kind of thing. But I'm always excited when I hear what Jerry's doing. because it's so diverse and so different, and I love champion the people I care about and those that are attached to Big Sky, the TV show, created by Julie Bumgarner and Rick Ballantyne, who is also our composer. So we give a lot of thanks to both of them, because without them we wouldn't have Big Sky, the TV show. I'd have no reason to have Under the Big Sky TV show. And so thank you, Julie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Julie. And I think somebody took your credit card this weekend. We were in the city. We'll talk about that. And thank you, Rick. Thank you for all the fabulous music and the writing that you two are doing as a team. Totally blessed. So, Lee.
Yes.
Now, you are very busy. You're a busy actor. You're a seasoned actor. You've done all different kinds of acting, from live to film to commercials, industrials, so forth and so on. Tell us, what was your last project? Because it was recent.
National commercial for Walmart, which will be coming out hopefully within a month or so.
That's cool. What was that like?
It was very natural, because I got to be a cowboy. Basically, I got to be me going to a ranch with the pioneer woman, Ree Drummond, who has her cookbooks. She's, the Home and Garden Show, the Cooking Channel, and all this. So
nice.
She served the dinner, and I was one of the guests there at the dinner, and so it was.
You got to eat the real food.
I ate too much pie. I ate too much pie, but yeah, it was good.
Well, that's awesome.
So.
And I know that you're busy. You're not only Leland also writes, and he's pretty phenomenal at it. So we've done a few things together, and we talk all the time. Lee, what do you think about this? Should we script this? Should we script that? And the minute you say something, Leland's mind, bam, it's going. And within minutes, he's got this whole thing like, look, we could do this and we could do that, and here's this character and here's that character. So he's extremely creative and extremely bright. He throws around these big words, and a lot of us have to go to the dictionary and we're like, what's he talking about now? But he's a very smart man. And busy, and other than that, with his family and his wife and his kids and the grands, and he's always doing something. And understand you cook.
I cook a lot, but I like to cook. I got that from my mother, and it's a good way to relieve stress and tension. You go in the kitchen and you whip something up, or you just get lost and turn the music on, and I'm liable to have Christmas music on in August and be in there cooking something just because.
I love that, don't you, Jerry?
Christmas music in August?
Humbug
to you. No,
I
I did not.
I was waiting for that.
Christmas music in August I could do without. Bad enough we start in September for the whole thing.
We're going to be talking about that.
I don't decorate, I just cook to it. So.
Now, let me ask you, do you eat, while you're cooking, do you eat, like nibble and everything?
Sample. You have to sample, because usually I don't use recipes. My mom didn't do that, so it's like add this, and if you do that, then you have to taste. And I also grew up watching Justin Wilson cook, and it was you measure a teaspoon in the palm of your hand, and you add a little wine, a little more wine, and then so you have to taste it all the way through. And then usually by the time it's done, I don't want any of it.
Exactly.
Because I'm full.
You're full, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So.
that's cool. So we did a lot of things this past weekend, Lee. Tell us a little bit, some of the highlights of what your weekend was like.
One of the highlights was just finding this place, just seeing this place. I didn't have to find it, the pilot found it. But when we were flying in, and there's so many lights, because we came in at night, and it was just a sea of lights, and they never stopped. And back home, you fly into Oklahoma, and there's little lights. Well, there's Prue, little light. There's Skytook, there's little lights, there's Hominy. There's a little bigger light, that's Tulsa. And here it was just like all of a sudden lights. And it was like being in a Star Trek movie. It was like the Borg planet, because it just did not stop. And
I like the reference to Star Trek, because you're a huge fan.
I'm a huge Trekker, the original series, not this new junk. But the I've got the autographed model of Leonard Nimoy autographed my Spock model.
Seriously?
So it's on my shelf, and
how cool is that?
I've met the entire original crew. So at different times, I used to go to conventions. I dressed in the uniforms and the whole kit and caboodle. So.
I want to see pictures, Chris.
No, you don't want to see pictures.
Wife. Chris, post those pictures.
No, you won't.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Look, if we could get you with those cucumbers in your eyes, we could see you in those.
Yeah, they don't know about that.
They do now.
Stay off Facebook.
Okay, so highlights of this weekend.
Highlights of this weekend was the cruise we took around Manhattan Island was the biggest one. And we got up close and personal with the Statue of Liberty and the water side of Freedom Tower. But really, the Statue of Liberty, and I didn't expect it. I was excited to see it because I've only seen it on TV and in pictures. But sitting there that close and just off the water and look, I got, you know, Meshuggah or whatever it's called. You know, yeah.
Well, you could be Meshuggah too. But
okay, whatever. Yeah. I got a little choked up, and I was not expecting that. But it was just seeing that and the flag and everything, and it was just. Because I mean, you know, we're from Oklahoma, and I got the flagpole out in the front yard, and I fly the American flag. It's all lit up 24 hours in front of the house, and
that's beautiful.
So I got choked up.
Well, we had one little strange thing before we show your reel. After the cruise, which is on 21st at Chelsea Pier, we said we're going down to Freedom Towers. So we asked the lady, and I said, how far is it? You know, should we catch a cab, a bus, train, or whatever? Said, oh no, it's a 25-minute walk. It's an hour and 25 minutes. I'm telling you, if you're ever planning to go from Chelsea Pier to Freedom, take a cab.
Yeah,
right?
Don't wear your dress cowboy boots. I think we didn't. If we'd dropped $5 in a little glass jar, maybe she'd have told the truth. Maybe those were minutes. They weren't Okie minutes. I guarantee you, they were not Oklahoma minutes.
We were exhausted, and the day was only just beginning. So before we go any further, let's take a look at Leland's reel. We're going to take a little bit of a little view of some of the work that he's done, and this is a real interesting reel.
Fellers, can I help you with something? Yeah, boys, ain't no sense pointing that scatter gun around. Those things can mess a feller up. You been drinking a little bit tonight, ain't you? Been over to Tala's? Yeah, I thought so. You fellers ain't thinking right. I tell you what, I know both of you. Come by the shop. Now tomorrow's Sunday. Come by Monday. I'll fix you up with a shave and a haircut. Get cleaned up and you'll feel better. How about that? Tom, you make me feel tired all over when you talk like that. I said don't point that. I ain't in the mood for this tonight, boys, especially tonight.
So, Lee, tell us about that. What was going on?
Well, Virgil Hicks is, I mean, he's a hick. And the name's a hick, but he's me. I mean, he's not the sharpest guy, you know, really. I mean, he's simple, he's country, he's happy-go-lucky, everything's, you know, he likes to just smile and go about his business. And in this particular scene, he's been exploring back in an old trunk that has his past or his history from when he served in the Civil War. And he was a captain on the Confederate side, and he worked in a field hospital. He's a barber, but back then the barbers were also surgeons back in the 1820s, early 1800s, because they had the sharp tools. And real doctors didn't consider that medicine. You know, basically they treated you. If they couldn't heal you, then go someplace and get it chopped off. So I've looked through that, and I'm having bad memories, and I come, you know, whistling happily and stupidly on my way home, and I run into these two guys, and they're drunk and they're wanting to rob me, and I'm just not in the mood for that at the moment. So,
wow, that was a good reel. I loved your use of shadow in that. I loved what you did with the lighting. That was absolutely awesome how that was all set up. That was good.
Yeah,
good stuff.
The bugs about ate us alive. And you know this from last week. We were in Fort Worth, and so Violetta got her experience with mesquite trees and stickers and goat heads and
all in one foot.
All this stuff out here, out where I come from, things want to bite you, eat you, and make you bleed. So, and that's what was going on that night, because it was nighttime. We had lights, and there was skeeters and chiggers and ticks and probably things they haven't even discovered out there yet. But yeah, we were picking stuff out of our hair.
Well, that'll motivate you to be angry, right?
That was aggravating. Yeah, it was a little agitating, but just a smidge.
Great. Well, Lee, thank you for sharing that, and we'll talk a little bit more. But I want to ask Jerry some questions now. Jerry, you're very experienced at not only in front of the camera but behind the camera. You're a creative director. Your experience on Madison Avenue. You have an eye for all this stuff. Before we talk about your stuff, what did you think about the lighting on that reel?
I liked it.
That's pretty good, right?
I saw, and believe me, I would tell you if I didn't. I'm not one of these people who sugarcoat. I thought it was very imposing and very powerful for what you had there. And you know, that kind of a thing you have to do. You got to come out with something that way to do it. Obviously, because we couldn't hear what was going on, the viewing audience does, we don't. It did look very interesting to me, and I certainly would want to see that again.
Yeah, the dialogue's good too. I've seen.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Good.
You know.
So Jerry, Mr. Busy and every single day of the week and night.
Thanks.
Tell me what's going on in your life.
As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Well, you know what? Tell us. You've been on like how many shows recently?
Recently, I did Person of Interest. I did a piece on that. I did Gotham. I did Person of Interest. Gotham. Oh, Going in Style. And I got a chance to be winked at by Morgan Freeman. What a nice man. I was impressed by him. I never realized he was so tall either.
Oh, is he? How tall is he?
He's tall. He's probably as tall as lights in here. In fact, when he bent over to look at a girl's lunch to see what she was eating, he bent over. He was as short as I was. It's like, oh, okay. And I'm 5'9", so you know, whatever. He's 6 something. He's like a basketball player.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Oh, I loved him the most in playing God. I thought that was truly a God figure. That to me worked, you know. Yeah. But I've done a lot of different things, and of course we have the 4 shows I produce here at Madhousetv, which I'm very proud of, is now hit prime time, Legal Straight Talk, The Bridge to Health, The Long Island View, and of course our own Filmmaker show, which kind of features me. But we are getting ready for the Scrooge year now. Starting in November is probably be our biggest Scrooge year because we're going to be including Staten Island. We've got the different walks in the Sayville and Patchogue area, sort of like our own Dickens Festival. We do have the nursing homes and more. We do have the vet hospitals and a longer time. And we're waiting right now for the crowning glory, which is what we always do, and that's the big Bethpage Restoration Theater. And last year we did, it's either 16 or 24, and I should know by now the number because there was so many of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But this summer I was lucky enough to be on, some advertising, which one of my clients allowed me to be on because I pushed me on it. So I'm on all these bus shelters in Nassau County.
The Lemon?
The Lemon, that's correct. Kim Cardellina, she's a lawyer, and the idea was to be not a bitter experience, but a little better than that. So we did that photo shooting. David Guarino was the photographer. I art directed it, and was in it with Vesta.
Vesta, love Vesta.
Vesta is an amazing actress, and we play in a lot of commercials as husband and wife. So it was the first time we were pitted together as a divorced husband and wife.
Well, you have a good chemistry.
We have a great chemistry, but so do you and I, actually.
Yes, yeah, we do.
And we can't deny that. There are certain people you just get great chemistry. Jackie and I, same thing.
Right.
Michelle, to give her an incredible kudos, now that she's the co-star of my show. Michelle
happens to be his wife and one of my best friends, and I tell you, I love her to pieces, and she's awesome. She keeps him on track on the show. Don't tell him I said that.
Sure, we won't tell her. But she is a wonderful co-host, and she started little by little. It wasn't that she just jumped out there and suddenly became the co-host. She did a lot of work behind the scenes. She never got enough credit, in my opinion. And little by little, what happened was she came on camera. She'd do the beginnings, and one day she looked incredibly beautiful. I said, all right, so just get a mic up there. I told Vicki, Vicki, of course, runs this place with her eyes closed. And she said, mic her up, and she's going to be on the show. And then I said, oh, by the way, Michelle, you're on the show. What? Yeah, you're going to be on the show today. You're going to co-host it with me. And then in the second season, we made that official, which I'm very proud of her. And she earned it. It wasn't that she got it because she's my wife. I don't give away that kind of stuff. That's the Madison Avenue in me, But in Big Sky, well, now we're transforming my character from the Scroogey-looking guy, because if you recall when we did the disc, and I'm sure you saw it, I had the white beard and the white hair and the dark background.
What Jerry's talking about is his audition reel for Big Sky, the TV show. A totally different look, like 2 different people.
It had to be, because one was the Scrooge look, and when we did it, it was Scrooge time period, so it was really all together.
All Victorian.
And actually, the outfit was partially Scrooge's, except for the Western tie and the hat. Everything else was really Scrooge. So we put that all together, but Angela, I'm managed by G&G Talent. Angela Galizio, wonderful manager puts up with everything I do. I hear her screaming, Parisi, I'm going to kill you now. But, in fact, she just sent me on a wonderful audition for Shadow of a Doubt. And see what happens with that. That's a great part. She told me one day, I can't sell you like this. Suddenly the auditions and the other movies and things were dropping because I couldn't put in that look anymore. I had this long hair, white bearded look. And so something had to be done. And so we took it upon ourselves, with the permission of the producers, to turn around and spin Bud into a different character, somewhat a little more sellable. In fact, talking with Rick today, Rick Ballantyne, he's scoring it. So in the one you're going to see in a few minutes, that actually happens to be the score of the other one. And the reason it's done that way in steps, like what we do when you change a logo, you don't go out of the footprint, you move it on. In fact, I don't know if you have a few moments to take a look at it.
We're going to do that right now. Let's take a look at this reel with Jerry Parisi in his character. You're going to love this one.
My name's Beauregard Ulysses Dowd. They call me Bud for short. I'm a selling man here in these parts of Big Sky, and so's my pappy and my pappy's pappy. But lately, I've been running into bad luck. The ladies been looking at me. Bud, they say, why don't you clean up yourself? Why don't you make yourself more presentable to the people? Maybe then you'll sell a little more snake oil. But let me tell you why. This ain't no snake oil. It's an elixir to make you feel younger. In fact, I'm going to prove my point today. And not only am I going to take care of that misnomer, but I'm going to put myself out there like nobody's ever seen it. In fact, I'm going to repackage my elixir, and I'm going to make myself look pretty doing it. No one's going to tell Beauregard Ulysses Dowd that he's not going to be the most best ladies' man they've never seen. I guarantee that when I get out there, not only am I going to sell my elixir, but I'm going to sell myself on all those ladies. Now, what can I call it? Let me think. Something for short. Beauregard Ulysses Dowd. Well, ladies, this Bud's for you.
I absolutely love the direction in that reel. That was very creative. Tell us about it.
Well, like I said a few minutes earlier, we couldn't keep that white beard and white hair going. I have actually white hair since I'm like 19 years old, and it's been dyed since. And of course, Cindy Sullivan from Atmosphere, I have to give her that credit. She really runs my hair. I don't actually touch it. And it's important that I've been working with her so many years because of the curls and locks and the color that has to be made to look good. So Angela, when she sells me and she puts me out there, she's got to work with that look. And so how to take the original Bud, which was a hit, and that's what they loved about me, and make him more saleable so that we could bring the two worlds together. And that's exactly what I did. So I positioned it with you. Okay, let's keep the flashbacks going because that's to remind everybody what it was. Right. And then each of the new things that came into play, the color, the dye, the cutting of the hair, was brought out to show the transformation. Now, in doing that, that elixir that I said originally makes people feel young and happy, well, it's not really snake oil. Now I've got to come up with a name for it. So what I'm really doing is using Beauregard Ulysses Dowd, my name, for short, Bud. Does it actually mean Bud Beer? I don't know. It probably doesn't, and we probably have to work on that in scripting. But the reality for the reel and to get the chuckle in the end, it just happened to work out.
That was a good ending. You know, talking about Beauregard Ulysses Dowd, I had invited, or announced, I should say properly, announced Jerry on his show, unbeknownst to him, for Big Sky, the TV show, and it was a pretty exciting. It's too bad we didn't have a little clip of that. And I took out my hat and I said, "Gee, Jerry, I need one of your stagehands to bring me my bag." And I got my hat out and I put it on and I said, "Now, how'd you like to be on Big Sky TV show?" He already knew, but we announced him on his show, so it was kind of cool. And we talked about his name, Beauregard Ulysses Dowd, and of course, for short, it's Bud, the peddler. Bud is the peddler in Big Sky, the TV show, and he peddles all kind of stuff. Although you don't know his backstory, so you do have to tune in to find out really what makes him tick. Where did he really come from? why does he really do what he's doing? And the same thing goes really for Virgil Hicks and Daisy Hicks. All of us have backstories, and you think you know what it is when you're looking. You'll see the first episode, and you'll try to summarize what makes them tick. But as the backstories unfold, you'll get to learn the characters a lot better and the depth of each one, because each one has a really, really tremendous story to tell. So, Big Sky, the TV show. Are we looking forward to it?
Of course we are.
I know I am.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I love the idea of meeting the people. I had been talking to Lee here for months, just respecting everything he did, and wow, what a thrill when I saw him in New York City the other day. It was great.
Isn't it wonderful to meet?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And the project, in my opinion, it's got a momentum that probably can't be stopped. It may get sheared and hit along the side as everything changes when it goes where it goes. Right. But this one seems to have the legs that's really, and the motor, in my opinion, that's really
it does.
rolling.
And you know, there's been hills and dales. And
Sure.
I started the tour, the international tour, a while back just to get cast members together and get to know one another, with the thought that once we get on set, we'll already be bonded as a family. And we have been bonded and in relationships that have just been totally phenomenal. We're in touch, besides Big Sky, the TV show, through everything that we do in our lives. So it's been a tremendous experience. In every city that we go, everybody 100% of the time says the same thing. It's an amazing experience they've never had on any set in any project, because we get together, we kibitz like we've known each other all our lives. We share our joys, our sorrows, our triumphs, our challenges, and we champion one another, we support one another, and we encourage one another. Isn't it right?
We do. And that's very evident in these wonderful, fun meetups, something I think that's really
great.
A great thing.
So I want to just say thank you very much. As that we're going to wrap my very first show of the season, I want to say a huge thank you to Vicki Mealy, Tom Mealy, Tommy Marr, and Janine Zarilli, who just do creatively amazing things here at Madhouse TV. And for their studio, their work, their input, their time, their creativity, I give a heartfelt thank you. And until I see you again, God bless. We're here in the ancient city of St. Augustine, Florida. Coming up next...
Well, I tell you what, honey, that's a mystery. So you're going to have to stand in line, take a number, and stay tuned just to find out.
I love it.
I'm Dale Stewart. I'm Trent Wilton.
I'm Frank Alf. Stay tuned for Violetta on MadhouseTV.com.
That's...
They're trying to say stay tuned for Violetta on...
MadhouseTV.com.
I'm Jason Griffith, and I watch MadhouseTV.com.
Violetta Anna Licari here in Nashville at the Hard Rock Cafe. You're watching.
You're watching.
You're watching.
Welcome back to Under the Big Sky. I missed you there for a bit. Violetta Anna Licari here with my show. And we're just starting the season off. I'm so excited. I've got cast members from around the country from Big Sky, the TV show, with me. I'll be introducing them to you shortly. So here we are, celebrating a great TV show that's coming, Big Sky, the TV show. Western takes place in the 1860s, 1870s. Super, super cast, wonderful season, people whom you're going to meet, a few of them, just in a little bit. So Under the Big Sky, the show you're watching now, we're set up here to inform you on the progress of the TV show, to inform you on what's to come, a little bit behind the scenes stuff. As the show goes, you'll come to know me better, and you'll come to see many different cast members and how Big Sky, the TV show, is moving. So thank you for tuning in. And let me, without any further ado, introduce my guest to you tonight. With me today, I have Alana Phillips. Say hello, Alana.
Hello.
Rachel Wahlberg.
Hi.
And Bethany Scarpelli.
Hello.
So I'm thrilled. We're going to get to know each of these beautiful young ladies a little bit, one at a time. We're going to see a couple reels, and you'll get a little glimpse into the kind of work they do. Now, all three of these ladies are actresses. Some are involved in different varieties of acting, and we're going to start with Alana, because Alana, now let me say, before she even tells you, I went out to Virginia City to see her work, and wait till you hear what she does. Because you look at her and you go, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She probably plays all this glamorous stuff. Wait till you hear. So Alana, you know where I'm going with that. Yeah. Okay, tell us, before you tell us about your education and what you're pursuing. Okay. Tell us about your acting, the different facets of what you do in acting.
Okay, well, I'm actually an actress and stunt woman.
in a Wild West show in Virginia City, Nevada, and that's what V was talking about earlier. And I play 6 different characters in the show. They're all female, but some of them wear cowboy clothes. So I'm never usually a saloon girl. I usually have dirt on my face, messy hair, and a lot of bruises.
Well, now, the show that I saw you in, you were the coal miner, right?
Yeah, I was playing a gold miner.
Gold miner.
Close enough.
Okay, all right. You were a miner.
Yeah, I was a miner.
A miner. She's not really a miner, but she was a miner.
Not a little kid miner, gold digging miner.
So now, if you caught that, because she kind of went quickly through it, she's a stunt woman. Okay, you look at her. She doesn't look like you'd expect her to be a stunt woman. She was throwing herself around, and I mean not just tripping over, but leaping through the air, landing on her back, and I'm biting my nails wondering, oh my goodness, I hope that she's okay. But because she's a pro, she knows exactly what she's doing. Besides throwing herself all over the place, they beat up each other too. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I never really, when I started theater, I mean, in film, my plan was never to be a stunt woman, and then doing the Wild West show, it just happened, and I learned basic stage combat with it, and so we learned how to punch each other and without hurting each other for real, and so.
And it looks so real, you know, unless you're in the industry and you know what to look for, which most people that even do know what to look for, they appreciate it when it looks real. So you did a phenomenal job in that show.
Thank you very much.
And now you're also involved in filmmaking on the other side of the camera. Tell us about it.
So I'm 21 now. I've wanted to be a film director since I was 9. I started acting when I was 7, doing musical theater, things like that. And I am currently in film school at Valencia College in Orlando.
Good for you.
And I'm studying film production over there. And so I'm learning not only directing, but I actually have to take an acting class at one point. But I've done stage lighting, audio tech. I'm doing basic stagecraft where I build sets. I'm doing theater tech production, all that fun stuff.
So your goal really is to be a film director?
Yeah, eventually. The
That's
next Mel
awesome.
Brooks.
So being you're so involved in film and going to school, you wouldn't happen to have any projects that you're working on right now, would you?
I actually am currently working on a project. It's a short film, a comedic short film. It's called Nude Beach. It's N-E-W''D, Beach. It's based in a fictional town called New Beach, and it's about these
Don't tell too much.
Okay. Well, it's just about these 2 girls who find themselves at a nude beach, and you gotta watch the rest. But we will start filming end of October, beginning of November. Right now, we're just doing a lot of funding. I have all my cast. I need a sound person. That's about it. Otherwise, I got my whole crew.
Okay, and I think you have a few choices
sound.
on that, right? Your sound people, did you have a few choices of people that you wanted?
Well,
for
those
that?
were my composers. I actually had 4 different composers who applied for my film.
Wow.
So, and I think I have one picked out who is actually local in Orlando. I won't say any names, but anyway.
All right, so let's look now. We're talking about Virginia City and you're being a stunt woman and acting in that type of a role. Let's take a look at your reel now so people can get a real feel for Alana Phillips in that type of a setting.
Oh boy, I'm so excited.
It's good, it's good. It's all good stuff. So we're going to enjoy this.
I told you that?
Yeah.
What up?
Well, that were my mule.
Oh, that were her mule. You hear that? Hey, how do you figure that were your mule?
Let's see, she was about this tall, goes from here to there long, and I knew she was my mule because when I walked on back, she winked at me.
Okay, well, you had a mule wink at you.
Yeah, and I winked back.
That's creepy. I think they do that in New York, don't they? Hey, let me ask you about your mule, Mommy. Did she happen to maybe have an earmark?
I didn't have an earmark.
That's what I thought. How about a brand right there on the butt side?
I didn't have one of them neither.
No brand either. Hey, was she out there on open range?
Yeah, that was her.
See, when you find a mule out in open range, you know earmark and no brand. You belong to the fella found her, right?
Well, no, I didn't even.
Right? Right. Okay, am I going too fast for y'all? Well, pay attention. I'm not asking another question. You know, I did find a mule out there.
You found her?
2 days ago, brought her to town.
You brought her to town? Well, let's go get her then.
Settle down, I sold.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How long did it take you to prepare for that role?
It took me about, actually, I memorized the lines within a day.
Really?
Yeah.
But you play more than the gold mine.
Yeah,
you play other roles
I play
too.
6 different characters in the show, and we also have, and that includes different skits we have too.
Wow.
So that role I play a lot. I play Jenny Langston, the miner in the show. I'm actually the only girl in the show. There were never really supposed to be any women in the show at all. They're
That's
I'm pretty
exciting.
lucky. But yeah, they were all male roles originally, so it was actually Jeremiah Langston, and then they switched it to Jenny. So
nice.
we've had to change quite a few lines because I'm not a male. So, but it's
Well,
been
that's
fun.
very exciting. And now we'll get back to this in a minute, but Alana joined us this weekend for the New York event, and we were all over Manhattan and all over Long Island, including Coney Island. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Alana has been a guest at my house as we've ventured all over the place. But I'd like to bring you now and introduce you to this beautiful young lady over here,
Hi.
future starlet, Rachel Wahlberg.
Hi.
Okay, you're an actress.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Now, as an actress, we're going to talk a little bit about you, but I want to tie in first with Alana's film because I heard that you might be
Yes.
cast in that film.
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I'm very, very, very excited.
Yeah. Do you like being an actress?
I love it.
Yeah. And I know you're limited to what you can say because we're only in pre-production here
Yeah.
with her film, so I won't ask you too much, but I want the world to know that you are cast in a nice role in that film. And so, what is it about acting that you love?
Well, you know, I grew up with entertainment. My mom, her wanting to like be a singer, she sang pretty much since she was growing up. So
And you
I
sing too?
I sing too. Yeah, I got that from her definitely, and my father as well. He loves music, so I
And
got
he's a
that
bit of
from.
a character himself, right? You heard that from me, Dad. Where are you from? Rachel?
I was born in West Virginia, but I am from Florida.
Oh,
So,
West Virginia. Now it's all clicking to me. Okay, so West Virginia kind of makes you like a cowgirl girl. So, are you cast in Big Sky, the TV show?
Yes, I am.
You are, and what would you be playing in that show?
Sissy Faker,
Oh, what kind of a character is that?
troublemaker, antagonist. She loves getting into trouble, loves it.
You know what's exciting about that? That it's so opposite you. It's so opposite.
Yeah.
Rachel is she's mellow, she's a sweetheart, she always endeavors to do the right thing. So for you to play that, it's a challenge, first of all, because it's not by nature,
No, it's not.
but it's by skill and by talent. I was very impressed with your audition reel, I have to say. Rachel's audition reel for Big Sky, the TV show, it blew me away because she nailed it. One take, she nailed it, although I made her do 3. One take, she nailed it. That's a super talent. Yeah. That's good. What's your aspiration? When you move on in your career, what do you finally want to do? I mean, do you want to stick with acting, being in front of the camera?
I want to be in front of the camera, but I also want to pursue my singing as well.
Ah, okay,
Yes.
good. So in that pursuit of singing, you take lessons and you practice with the greats and you sing a lot.
Oh, yes,
Right,
definitely. My mom can tell you I sing in the shower constantly.
Good.
Everywhere I go.
The shower, 2 reasons why it's so great to sing in the shower. Number 1, there's nobody else around and you can just belt it out and not have to worry. But it's really good for your vocal cords.
Yes.
So that's a good place to practice. When I was singing, when I was with a band, I used to practice in my shower because of the acoustics. So yeah, and I mean with the water off, I would just climb inside the shower and start singing. I loved it. Nobody else did, but I did. Had a great time. So how are you liking being in New York?
I love it. I come here to visit family a lot on my mom's side.
Okay.
Hi, everybody who's watching. I miss you, Nikki and
And now
Brianna.
this is your first time in Manhattan.
Yes, first time being in the city ever.
Did you love all the events we did?
Oh, I loved it. It was so beautiful, especially being on the open loop on the bus. I loved it. It was so beautiful.
We were all on the bus. It's called the Open Loop Bus, and we toured all around Manhattan at night. We did the night light tour. We went over the bridges, and we went so slow we were able to stand up, take pictures of the skyline. It was spectacular, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
Loved it. I loved it. Well, thank you for being here,
You're welcome.
spending time with me, and,
Yes.
and I love you to pieces. And we are going to talk a little bit more, but we
Yes.
want to get to our next guest,
Yes.
Bethany Scarpelli, who happens to have a dual role in my life, because in my real life, blood, she is my niece, is my sister's daughter, and gosh, I remember the day you were born, Bethany. You know, when your mom showed, all we saw was this big hair.
I hear that a lot.
This big hair. And the funny thing is, when your mother was born, it was the same exact thing. We tried to find a little face, but there was this big, gigantic hair. And you got the hair.
Still.
So Bethany is a busy actress as well. And she's done everything from stage. I have seen her on stage growing up. She's done all kinds of things in the entertainment field. She does sing. She's a little shy about the singing, but when she doesn't think you're listening, she sings really well. So we're going to pursue that a little bit more. But I want to talk about your role in Big Sky, the TV show.
Okay. Well, I play Hattie Hicks, which is Daisy Hicks' niece and Virgil Hicks' niece. And I don't want to give too much away, but my character is still in development. And, you know, Hattie's an interesting character.
Okay, so in real life, she's my niece, but on our TV show, Big Sky, the TV show, she plays my niece. But not my niece, but my husband, Virgil, who you saw not too long ago, Leland Prater, who plays Virgil Cap Hicks, is your blood uncle on the show. And so through a series of events, our niece comes to live with us, and it all starts there.
Pretty much. It's going to be entertaining.
Oh, to say the least. Now, you are by nature a very, you're a quiet person, even though you're very, you're talented and can do any role that you want to do. But by nature, you're quiet and kind and loving and sweet and soft and all of that frou-frou stuff.
I got it from my aunt.
It runs in the family.
Yes.
Which is love. But her role is going to be a twist on that.
Yep.
So you'll want to tune into Big Sky, the TV show, and see what old Hattie Hicks is going to be up to.
Yeah.
And what kind of grief is she going to cause her aunt and uncle? Who knows? So how do you feel about being in Big Sky, the TV show?
I absolutely love it. I mean, the people are amazing. I've worked on a lot of sets, you know, a lot of theater, and the cast is one of a kind. I'll tell you what, it's more of a family than anything. And everybody just supports each other. You know, they don't chop each other down or try to undermine each other. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the truth, and that's what we love the most about it. Do you mind if I tell the story of the stage?
Oh, you can. Oh, no. My secrets are coming out.
See, when you're in front of a camera, it all comes out. You know what they say, what stays in one place, what happens in one place stays? Not here. Well, Bethany was in a play. This is in high school, and she was in Pennsylvania in this play, so I went up to Pennsylvania to see her perform. Like I said, we support each other that way. And sitting with her parents and her brothers in the audience, and Bethany came out. She had a wonderful part. She comes out, and she's walking across the stage. And her mother says to me, that's my sister, she has my shoes on. So we're laughing. There she is trotting across the stage with these shoes. Now, why it was comical is because the shoes were 2 sizes too big. So it was real obvious. Yep. And so I asked Bethany, what were you thinking? Why did you have these shoes on? So
basically, I had no shoes, and I raided my mother's closet without asking her, so she wasn't too happy about that either. But I wanted to be in character, so I did what I had to do.
And it was funny. I mean, it was a great show, and we got the biggest kick out of it. Of course, we were just mesmerized by the shoes, but it was all good. So you're a busy actress pursuing this as a career. Yes. What do you favor, stage or film?
I really enjoy, they're very different, so I really enjoy different aspects of either one. I could say I haven't made that decision yet.
Okay,
so.
Good. You're young and you've got plenty of time to if you wanted to go one, you could do it all.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, well, Bethany has a very interesting reel, and in this reel we're going to see a variety of emotions and we'll see a very good quality of acting in this. So we're going to go to that now. We're going to watch your reel, and then you can tell us about it.
Awesome.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Cool.
So let's enjoy this.
Lord, I need your strength. I can't do this. Ma, why'd you fight back? Pa, why'd you let Ma fight back? Now I have to leave everything I know. I have to go to Big Sky with Aunt Daisy and Uncle Virgil. I'm scared. I'm scared. I have nothing. Nothing.
And Papa, they have two saloons in Big Sky. They, you know, not that I'd ever go in them. I wish you were with me, but I know what you and Pa want. What's best for me. So
I hope it's okay, Ma, that I'm going to Big Sky. I know you'd want that for me. I know that. Goodbye for now, Ma. Goodbye, Pa. I'll miss you.
Wow, that was pretty intense, Bethany. You went through a variety of emotions there. What was it like filming that?
It was very, I did. I basically, you know, in the film I lost my parents, so I just, you know, when you're an actress you try to reflect on real life experiences, and, you know, the audience was pretty dead, but, you know. So,
very dead.
A little bit. But, you know, it was good. It was good. I've never done this type of role before, so, you know, I'm expanding my horizons.
So that was a challenge, because when you came into that scene, you were sad.
Yes.
And then you went from that sorrow to anger. So anger at losing your parents, anger at now how your life has changed so drastically. But then realizing that the changes would really please your parents.
Yes.
So that anger now went to a level of joy, not, you know, you got the death of your parents, but joy that she's going somewhere that her parents would approve of and be happy. So I loved the transition I saw. You know, it was very believable.
Thank you.
You did a really good job with that. Thank you for that. So with Big Sky, the TV show, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to working with everybody and just seeing it all come together, and just, you know, watching how everybody enjoys it when everything is finished and done. So,
yeah, awesome,
you know?
Awesome. Well, we've got 3 beautiful women here who are members of Big Sky, the TV show, and we know your character, Daisy Hicks over here, and who you're related to. We know Rachel's character. I want to hear Alana. We've heard all of your throwing yourself around, beating people up, and playing 6 different characters in this wonderful Virginia City live show. What about Big Sky?
Well, Big Sky, I play Scarlett Walker in Big Sky. Scarlett Walker is an outlaw, former saloon girl. But you're going to have to tune in to find out why she became an outlaw.
So that's like we were talking about earlier with backstories. You know, when people first look at a character and they like a character you're playing, they may say, oh, wow, she's mean, or she's this and she's that, with no understanding of why her behavior is as it is. So I'm interested to see your character unfold.
It's a wonderful story. I really do not want to say anything right now because I do not want Julie to kill me. I do not want to be killed off the show, put it that way.
We have this thing, it's called an NDA, which is a non-disclosure. So to keep your interest and wanting you to tune in, first of all, we don't want to tell you everything. And second of all, we are bound by contracts, so to speak, with these forms to not tell. But I think that you baited well, that we want to tune in to see your character, and without you saying too much more about it, are you excited about the transitioning through this?
From becoming saloon? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, there's so many different transitions of Scarlett. I mean, it's going to break your heart. I'll put it that way.
Wow.
It'll break your heart. And And it's amazing of how her personality changes on the outside, I want to say. Yeah, on the outside, but deep down inside, she's still who she was originally, but it's too hard for her to become that person again because of all that she's gone through the years.
The things that transpire.
Yeah.
So I have another question for you. On your live show, it's real big. Everything is big. How difficult is it for you to transition down to film, where everything is so much smaller?
You know, it's interesting. I'm not used to not having a live audience there and having just participating with the audience and messing with their hair and saying I can see up a guy's shorts, whatever. I love being in front of a camera. I mean, I'm doing what I love. I love acting. It feels sort of the same, but I really like having a live audience.
Yeah, there's a big difference with a live audience.
It really is.
The actions, when you're on stage in front of a live audience, your actions are very big. You're very animated, you're very loud, and you're all of those things because you need to be. That's part of being on stage. But when you're in front of the camera, everything goes like this. And everything becomes small, and the simplest gaze can tell the whole story.
Yeah.
So it takes a seasoned actor, actress, to be able to bring that level and show that intensity and show that energy without showing a whole lot of movement. It's not an easy task. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of practice, right?
Oh, definitely.
Right. And so now with your film coming up, you're going to be on both sides of the camera.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I love being behind the camera and in front. It's a lot of work, but I mean, it's how the magic happens.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
You do the editing too?
I do the editing as well. I'm going to have, I worked on a short film in March. It's called Writer's Block, and my director of that film, Sean Michael Lamprone, he is going to be my editor of the film, and he's also going to be my cameraman as well. So what's great about working in the film industry and working in theater is once you've worked with somebody, they'll always have your back and you'll always have theirs.
Yep, that's how it works. That's how it works. This is what we're talking about, family, and as members of Big Sky, the TV show, we are a family. People throw that word around a whole lot, but we really are. So, Rachel.
Hi.
You're headed back to Florida tomorrow.
Yes, sadly.
I know, you miss your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got some family here, so you're attached to New York too.
Yes.
But I'm sure especially get back to see
definitely.
Dad, right?
See
my
brothers.
Everybody's brothers, everybody else. Okay, good. So, and then you'll be busy as soon as you get back. I asked everybody this morning, what are you doing when you get back to whatever state you're going to? And everybody's jumping right back in. I mean, there's no downtime. We have not enough days in the week, not enough hours in the day, because there's always something going on, and we wouldn't want it any other way. Isn't that right?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you think, Bethany?
Yeah, definitely. We're stretched a little thin, but it's good.
Bethany's another one. She just goes 24/7.
Yes.
So you can catch her at any time of day or night. And yes, you will. Yeah, she's there. Early in the morning, she might be a little not there.
3 days max.
A whole night. Well, it's been a wonderful show, and I'm just thrilled with my guests, and I thank you all very much for
having us.
coming out
Thank you for
and
having
being
us.
here. And we had a great time in the city and Coney Island. And,
Yes, so much
you know, it's the season's end, so a lot of things close down on the island and in Coney Island, but Manhattan never closes. So we were extremely busy. We had a great time. And we're all going on to other projects. We will be meeting again. If not before, we'll be on the set of Big Sky, the TV show. Thank you, Julie Bumgarner and Rick Valentine, for your endless work on making this happen for all of us. We absolutely love it. And I want to say a special thank you to Vicki Mealy, Tom Mealy, Tommy Marr, and Janine Zarilli. Because without MadhouseTV.com, which is what you're watching, without that, well, we wouldn't be here. And all of what they have to offer as a network is change the face of this type of TV viewing. They're phenomenal people with the most creative ideas. Every time you turn around, they're adding something new. It's amazing, amazing. And everybody knows of Madhouse TV and what they're all about. So I say thank you to them. Say thank you to Rick and Julie and all the rest of the team members. Thank you to our producers. Thank you to Leland Prater, who has just become senior producer. And as I've moved into co-executive producer of Big Sky, the TV show. Thank you for tuning in for my show, Under the Big Sky. And until I see you again, God bless. We're here in the ancient city of St. Augustine, Florida. Coming up next.
Well, I tell you what, honey, that's a mystery. So you're gonna have to stand in line, take a number, and stay tuned just to find out.
I love it.
I'm Dale Stewart.
I'm Trent Wilden.
I'm Frank House. Stay tuned for Violetta on Madhousetv.com.
That's
They're trying to say stay tuned for Violetta on
Madhousetv.com.
I'm Jason Griffith, and I watch MadhouseTV.com.